All right, all right. Good morning, my dogs. It is 6:33. I apologize for being late. I actually went live to Inauguration Day. Different video. Anyway, that's what happens when you're sitting in the Short Hills office all by yourself when everyone's mostly sleeping around the world. So if you're awake and you're tuning in, you're ahead of the game. Guess what? You've probably been awake for a while. I've been awake since 4:45, making sure I'm known or making sure I'm checking out what's happening around the world. Europe had a decent day. Asia, not so bad. Our futures are getting some follow through to a rally that started about a week ago. It was about a week ago the PPI and the CPI came in light. It was a week ago we were all neutral to negative. It was a week ago, you go back here, it was hard to tell what would be next. Remember this head and shoulders top pattern that looked pretty omnious, if that's a word. And then we had a red dog reversal on the day before the PPI. And then right here is where I was still kind of neutral. I wasn't sure what was going to go on. I wasn't going to sure if we were going to pull in 7-8%. Wasn't sure what the CPI would be. I actually was pretty light and a little upset that into this big gap up on the CPI when it was light and wasn't sure. I didn't make much money there, but Red Dog didn't get upset. Red Dog didn't get pissed. Actually, maybe a little bit. What I did is I made adjustments. What does that mean? It means I put on some risk, 4, 5, 6 positions that day in order to get involved in the market. Remember, I said, is this a new active sequence? What constitutes a new active sequence? It's when you could put on risk and buy a dip, sell some strength, and new names pop up or different names pop up, and you could add to them and get paid to be in them instead of just day trading. You could day trade around your size, but being in the positions is paying you. And ever since then, you had a gap up. Some guys like, hey, Red Dog, I don't know what to buy. I just trade the SPYs. So I'm buying the SPYs versus 589.20. You could have done that on this day, and boom, look at this nice 4-day move into another gap up. Like here you go. The SPYs are up 240. We're at 605.30, right ahead of this 605.50. The oscillator is probably like plus 55. So if you've missed this move, I would not be just jumping in today. If anything, maybe today's a day to like try and put on a few cute hedges and definitely trim and trail. One of the reasons why we're up a lot is look at Netflix, up 14%, up 129 points. Guess what? Red Dog is not in Netflix, but a lot of my dogs made good money using my process, using tactics that I taught them. What does that mean? Well, yesterday, if you were playing Netflix and you knew what the quarter was, what they were looking at, here was 941. You could have been a buyer through 915 and 941. In order to get to 999, what did it have to get through? 941. Went through 941 or hovered there for a little bit. If you were short, you had to cover after hours. And if you were looking for an additional move on top of last year's huge move, that was your after hours buy. And now here you are, 998.50. Some of the guys from the Alpha team are in call spreads. I am not in a call spread, but I love it when my guys make money. I had a lot going on. I still have a lot going on. Got to head to the city actually today for Fox Business where my girl is claiming. Here is the Alpha team. If you want to come and test out the Alpha team for free, the T3 Live is giving a promotion. Next week, you could be with me and my dogs for 4 days as long as you don't cause any problems. And you could, interact, get to know everybody, and watch how the Alpha team works. They get to see when I put on positions, when I take them off. They get to see when, I whatever I do pretty much. So anyway, what have I done so far this morning? These are my positions coming in. I've trimmed a little bit, just like yesterday. I came in yesterday with AVGO. I trimmed some up 4, bought some up 2. Now I'm trimming some up 4. Isn't that nice? It's nice when that happens. Also trimmed a little NVIDIA. I didn't have NVIDIA yesterday, but I did today, which I'll show you why. I've already trimmed some. It's up 4. That's a nice move. I trimmed a little Amazon. I also had Amazon coming in yesterday. I trimmed a little bit up, a nice amount, bought some back because it showed some strength, and I trimmed a little bit this morning. These are some of the things that they get to watch me do. Did I do anything with NBIS yet? No. It's just overnight. Did I do anything with the SPYs? I did. I trimmed a little SPYs. The reason why I was, in the SPYs too is because I'm short some 604 premium. So this is my only hedge. So that'll probably be a little bit lower. I'm going to sit in that and let it convert me short because that's the way I'll hedge this move on day 5. That's fine. I might short a little 607s to be cute, but I'm not getting much bigger. Okay. But at this point, I do think, putting on a hedge or trying to play both sides is how you could do it. You trim into some strength. You get a little hedged into that move, and then we come in, you buy back what you shorted in the SPY premium, and then you look to see what you could adjust to. Other than that, though, so this is what they get. So if you want to sign up for the Alpha team for next week, I think you should use your resources. Guys have been here for years and they're making a nice living. So again, 941 was the spot. Why am I so in Amazon? Amazon, to me, I made a pinky bet with Benzinga yesterday that Amazon would be the next mega cap tech name or Mag 7 name to make a new all-time high. And I lost that pinky bet because Netflix did it first. But he said Meta. Doesn't really matter. It's just a funny game. I don't care what you're in. As long as you have a vehicle to make money with it from your go-to list, and you don't need to be in everything to net money for a living. It's January 22nd. Do you get paid at the end of January? I get paid quarterly on top of, what I do. And that's how I need to make a living too. I need to make money trading. I'm a trader. I don't play one on TV like most of these people. Anyway, 233 is the next spot. Amazon right now is 232.23. I will trim some, and then if it holds, hey, I might even buy some through there. Like I just said, Benzinga loved Meta. I could see why it's hanging in here. Maybe it starts to separate from this, TikTok algorithm. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. Meta's a lot more, and has a lot more going for it than just if TikTok's going to be banned. So right now, Meta is, not up huge, but it's up a bunch. I have options on. It's at 621. If it gets through 624, your next spot's 631. So watch that for today. Yesterday I was, I came in pretty long Tesla, and Tesla hurt me, but I moved on. Why? Because I used my sell rules. What are my sell rules? Usually these are the 4. When a gap is in your favor, you trim some. Net money, feel good. Stock goes from up to red while the market's strong. There's something wrong. Save some money. If the TikTok, if you don't stop, if the stock breaks below a prior low, there's real weak, you can get out. And yesterday, Tesla did all those things. So I came in yesterday long options and stock. It was up 8. I sold some up 8, and then I sold some when it went red, and then I sold more when it broke below 419. I said, I'm done with it. Everyone's like, well, Red Dog, look, it's holding 405. Get back in. I'm like, it just seems really hard. Lately, Tesla's been a little harder. Ever since it started this corrective phase from the Red Dog reversal, this day really hurt me actually when I had a lot overnight thinking when you get follow through, and that happened. So I'm just letting it breathe. There's a lot of talk and a lot of controversy over what he did at the inauguration. Now it's down 5. I'm glad I'm not in it. Yesterday you saw in the disclosure say when things don't act special, you don't have to be in them. If you've been in Tesla for 2 years and you're an investor, that's different. But if you trade actively for a living, you don't have to be in it. And I'm not going to get into the salute to this or that. When I saw him do it, I'm like, what the hell was that, idiot? Sometimes he's a little wonky. Sometimes Elon, gets a little bit too excited, but it's fine. I'm not getting into. He's not trying to go out there and kill a gazillion, people like who did. So let's not over exaggerate. I've seen a lot of people have done that motion, but anyway, it was pretty damn dumb. But let's move on. Let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Here you go. It was probably almost as dumb as Trump having a meme coin and Melania. Altcoins, meme coins, most of them go to zero. Okay, and they lose people a lot of money. He's the president of the United States. He shouldn't have a meme coin. But anyway, let's not talk about that stuff. Jay Rice is talking about Rivian. Mike Pags is saying, let's F go. Lazelle saying, Oklo's on the move. I'm in a lot of CCJ. Yeah, the Oklo. Okay, that whole group had a big move yesterday. I was in CCJ. I was a little, I went a little, what's the word? I wouldn't say I went the boring route or the lazy route, but I just had too much going on. I didn't grab those. Richard Judge says, thank you. How can I sign up for free? How could you sign up for free? I don't know. I'll post a link in my Twitter later for the open house. It starts on Monday through Thursday. And then on Friday, I actually go to Tampa to pick up my new member of my family. For those of you who gave me some shout outs about Cadence, who passed away, 6 weeks ago, got a new dog coming. Excited. What up, MLD? Let's see what else we got going on here. 500 billion investment into AI. Yes, that'll be big. Yeah, so got a lot going on. At this point, I am not in Tesla, as I just showed you before. I got stopped out yesterday. I also got rid of all those options, and I moved on. We adjust. It's about making the right decision at the right time. When your inner voice says this doesn't sound and feel right, you get the hell out of the way and you could make money. How do you develop that? Is by developing your go time, by doing some tough things. Anyway, with that being said, let's move on. So why am I in AVGO? I think AVGO looks awesome. I think at some point it's going to be getting above 251. I am managing it though. I am selling some. It's up 580, isn't that nice? Yeah, it's nice. Nice to be in a Vogel in Tesla. Let's go. Goodbye. I'm also in some NVIDIA. So let's see where NVIDIA is. I just trimmed a little bit of that up. 4. I haven't been in NVIDIA in a while because it's been lagging. But remember, yesterday I talked to you about that 138.70 gets above that. You can get a bit of a squeeze. So anyway, I'm in some of this. I just trimmed some. I'm going to hold the rest. 246. 247 is coming up. That would be another spot that's a little resistant, but I don't see why this won't make all-time highs. So why am I in NVIDIA? Well, I told you guys yesterday, I said there's going to be a battleground right here, 138.70. All the bears that want the market to go low are going to be selling right there. So I got long. So it was nice. It was nice. Hey, Scott, Equinix, Trump investing a ton in Texas AI data centers. That's Mario again, my boy from Cisco. All right, I'll take a look. He took me to see Billy Joel with my wife. That was a lot of fun. My wife. Anyway, so where's the next level for NVIDIA? Well, there's a gap here. Actually, there's no gap anymore. This was filled. So why do I have a gap here? It's gone. Since you've been gone. No, I'm kidding. I hate that song. 144.90. Where is it now? It is. Oh, look at that right there. It's right at 144.90, and then there's 147. So Red Dog's having a good morning. I deserve it. I put risk on. I switched gears. I was neutral to negative. And then last week on Wednesday, when we had that gap and go, I said, we're done with neutral to negative. We're putting on a portfolio approach, and we'll see how long it lasts. Anyway, bios need to get going. You know what? I put the bios on as a little bit of a power play or a bottom feeder. You did get your first day. Bios have been really tough. There is some room here. It would be nice if it gets going. I am not in them. I tried it right here and I got a little hurt, and I just thought there were better things out there. But again, if you got in yesterday, maybe the XBI, you have some room up till 93. A lot of guys are doing well with the IWM finally. The IWM gave you a lot of ways. I remember we were here at the 630 club where I'm like, you guys should be covering your IWM into this spot when a reclaim 215.31. So I'm like, well, maybe I'm going to do a Red Dog reversal buy. I don't care. Tom Lee says it's going higher. Bunch of the other guys also, I don't listen to them, but anyway, you had a Red Dog reversal, then you had a gap, so you could have been long versus 222.72 right here and made yourself some nice money. And now it's probably, I would think that doesn't mean it's a short. Actually, it's flattish. Say, okay, I was going to say it's probably a little bit of a better buy, a better sell than a buy. Some people like Red Dog, they used to call you the Apple trader. How come we haven't traded Apple pretty much in 2025? It's January 22nd. Like, because I like to be focusing on what's going. If the trend is to the upside, why do I want to be in one of the weakest stocks? And it is Apple. It happens. Some people like, hey, Red Dog, why do you always focus on the 8 and 21-day moving average? I'm like, because in order to get to the 200-day moving average, you have to break the 8 and 21-day. That is why if you trade actively for a living, I don't care what the name is, okay, you get the hell out of the way when it breaks the 8 and 21 day. You don't have to sit in it. You don't. You can move on. You're active. You're tactical. You're getting up at 20 minutes. You're doing your workout in the morning, getting your mind right. You're having your water. Maybe you're having your iced coffee. You're getting ready to go. Money has not been well spent in Apple. Why? Look at this. Here is your first move. Remember when it broke 257 when it was all extended? Then it confirmed the weakness when it broke this ascending channel at 253. That was your out as an active trader. If you get out of the way, hey, maybe you tested a little bit yesterday into the 200-day. Guess what? I did not. Why am I going to buy the weakest stock into an up tape? If anything, usually a stock like this has a reversal when you're down and then finally goes green and shows you, hey, maybe it's washed out. And it could be washed out. But for me, not interested. If you're an Apple, you're up a whole 11 cents today. Woohoo! Or you could be in NVIDIA up 4. That gave you a shot, or you could be in Amazon. That's not up a whole lot, but it's been trending well. It's up $1.44. Or you could be in AVGO. Anyway, but I'm not making fun of Apple. I'm just saying there are times when Apple's in a phase, and right now it's in an active sequence to the downside. No reason to be over-focused there. Anyway, well, what else you guys want to talk about? We could talk about a few one-offs. NBIS is something I'm in that not a lot of people know about. It's a nice stock. Nice chart. I would think if we can get above 39, 39.50, there's a move to the upside. Nice chart pattern above the moving average, just consolidated. I'm in this one. Some people like, hey, Red Dog, ASTS has been such a pain in the butt. I get it. It has been a big pain in the butt, but the stock had a huge move from 6 to 39, and now it's been in a corrective phase. You are not chasing this one. Put it on your radar. Do your own research. There's a guy that I'm very friendly with that has a huge fund, loves it, thinks it's $100 stock, but I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to be. All I know is he had a day one yesterday. It's trying to take back the moving averages. I am in this one. So we'll see. Does it get above here? And then if it does, there's a big void. It's going to need some kind of news. Yesterday, this group was really strong, but we'll see. Switch gears back. Dash has been awesome. Dash I've been talking about, since last year, and it's ready to go again. If you guys follow me or you're in power plays, we made this a power play right around here when it got above the moving averages, right around 71. That was a nice call. Started really playing this right around here. And I think this thing's going to be 2.25 this year, maybe even more. So that means it's got to get above 181.75 to be 2.25, right? Look into it. Look into it yourself. I showed you guys yesterday this nice cup and handle. Seems like if it takes out this spot, it's going to be in the 188 to 200ville land, and I like it. I like it. What else is in that little group of those three amigos, which is also Reddit. Reddit, nice move. I'm not in Reddit, but some of my dogs are. I did this chart yesterday. Always do the charts. I do 40 of them. You can pick and choose which one are yours. I don't have to be in them all. Reddit still has go-to status. What's go-to status? It means it's above the 8 and 21 day. It's special, acts better than other things. It'll be interesting to see if any 2024 leaders, which Netflix is now doing, has upside traction. Some guys are long versus 156, others waiting for it to get above 179, and now it's right back at highs. What isn't looking like that is Palantir. Palantir is, it kind of last year, it just was too much. Too much. Got a little bloated. The PE got a little bloated, but it made people a lot of money. If you got out when it broke this 180, this 80.91 on this false little breakout, or here, you had the luxury of buying back, and it hasn't been great. It's coming right into resistance. I have not really been focused on Palantir the last few days. It's up another $1.50. It's 74.60. Probably a better sell than a buy coming in today. If you're looking to fade something, thinking the futures are going to come in a little bit, maybe that's that. What else? My dogs. IBIT is doing just fine. Everyone's all enamored with TEM. Okay. This was, I guess, what Nancy Pelosi, Fancy Nancy, was a buyer of. It was disclosed. Nice move yesterday. Interesting. I guess it's like a newish type name. Well, not newish. Yeah, it's kind of new, right? Because if you go back to it, it doesn't have much of a history here. I don't know if it was a SPAC or what it was, but yeah, looks like usually she knows regulation. All of Washington and Congress are allowed to, invest based on what they know is coming through the pipeline. So at least you have to disclose it. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. But, I'm not going to talk. All these people in Congress, it's like, I don't even know what their salaries. I think it's like 200,000, and they leave Congress with like 40 million. How do you have a $200,000 salary and leave with 40 million? Anyway, license to steal, but let's move on. So with that being said, we should have term limits, shouldn't we? Asan, I haven't looked at that in a while, Nuggy. It looks nice. Nice little gap here. Came in and tested it. Poked its head up above this spot yesterday. Seems in the game. It's not really on my go-to list, but it could be on yours. You could be long versus 18, and maybe it works back towards here. This would be a spot of resistance. Looks pretty good. Why not? I'm not in. It looks. Tesla, please. Tesla, I would avoid, Fernando. There's a lot of banter going back and forth. I guess you'll see if it goes from red to green. Does it hold 405? I'm going to stay a little bit away from Tesla because there's all this controversy and it's been a little erratic. So when it's erratic, I get away from it. But I do think today is going to be a tough day. If you did not switch gears the way you should have, if Johnny was tough like me, he wouldn't get hurt. What movie? I just saw that in Broadway. It was pretty cool seeing. But anyway, if you didn't switch gears right here at 589.20 or buy the dip, I think you got to check your process if you're starting to put on a whole lot of risk up here. Weed stocks, they haven't really done a whole hell of a lot. Roblox actually has been, a lot of people have been named. That's been acting a lot better. Hopefully, you went long when it got above this gap here and held and took out that spot, and now it's more of a trim and trail and manage the trade. Sometimes you have a money trade and sometimes you have just manage the trade. So at this point, this is not a money stock. IBIT, I'm still in it also. Yes. I would think crypto needs to do a little work above this gap here. This is 58.52. I'll probably buy a little bit more, let it digest. I think Bitcoin has a future a lot higher. But just be careful with the altcoins. Just be careful with the euphoria. Just be careful with the meme stocks. When Trump was trading at 74, I was like, hey guys, I don't like it. Be careful with these meme stocks. They could drop 90% in a day or in a week or two. Just threw it out there. And I got a little hate. Red Dog doesn't like to spoil parties. Listen, parties are fun. I like the party. Red Dog likes to party too. But when the music's too loud and you can't see what's going on around you, and all of a sudden, the music stops, you want to be like, hey, where'd everybody go? That's what happens with altcoins. When the music stops, you're in trouble. I don't want to see my dogs get in trouble. So just be careful. Make money while the sun's shining, but don't get caught over your skis or get overly emotional. How do we play Netflix today? Somebody just asked, what do you want to be left with? Maybe you don't. What I would do is I would see how much of today's gap holds and then see if you get a gap to play against. Like here, look at Goldman Sachs. The gap wasn't that big. You didn't have to be long Goldman Sachs. Okay, it gapped up post numbers. You could have been long verse 593. Okay, and that could have been a great swing. You could have said, hey, I want to see how much of the pro earnings gap holds, and it did. You could have been a buyer verse 593, and now you have a beautiful swing trade as high as 635. With Netflix, it's such a huge gap, that's going on right now that I just think it's going to be kind of tough money. You're up 128 and 998. I'm going to watch it. I want to see how much holds. If it opens up 998 and drops 40 points, chances are maybe some things come in. If it opens up, it drops 10 points and puts a low in a 990, markets come in, doesn't go in, maybe it takes out 998, you get a day trade to 1,010. But that's going to be a tough trade. I'm not looking for tough trades today. I got to go to Fox Business. I got to see my girl Liz Clayman. I got to trim and trail all my positions and figure things out. I don't need to complicate it. Know what type of day you're looking at, okay? And do what you can handle. And, don't get over your skis. That was Red Dogism. I'll see you guys later.